What's going on, everybody? I hope you're having an amazing day as always, and I hope you're having an amazing week. We're going to wait about 1 to 2 minutes for people to get in the live stream, and I want to talk about what is shocking the entertainment industry, the rap industry, and the world right now, the press, the media, both sides of the political spectrum, and that is Kanye West wearing a MAGA hat. He's throwing up the OK symbol, which has been demonized. They say it's a white supremacist symbol, even though it's just literally an OK symbol. It's a very, very big deal. And I know a lot of people, they say, oh, I don't want celebrities to talk about politics. Conservatives do that. Liberals say that. But this is very, very important. And this is also why I never say personally, I don't say LeBron, shut up and play basketball. Kanye, shut up and do music. That's not the right message. That sounds really, slave mastery. It's kind of gross when liberals and conservatives do that, in my opinion. Don't tell people to shut up and play what they're doing, dribble the ball or do music. I think that's gross. But you can have a debate and a discussion about the content of what they're saying, because that's what's important. I would love if hundreds of celebrities were telling the truth, but that just doesn't happen. That's why people get upset on both sides. So let's wait about a minute for people to come into the live stream. I'm trying to pin something to the top. Let's see if it works. Got it. Follow me on Instagram at Dream Rare. Follow me on Twitter at Legendary Energy. As you can see, I'm back in my element. I got the pillow. I got my coffee. Shout out Starbucks. No racism on the way in, luckily. It was nice. There were multicultural people when I was walking in. You had, all sorts of races and religions enjoying a coffee. It was beautiful. So let's give it about 20 more seconds, 30 more seconds. Thank you so much for joining. It's okay. I'd rather go with some organic or, something more natural, but it'll do for now. I'm not getting paid by Starbucks, so, this has already been too much promotion. Hold on a second. I gotta get some water too. Thank you guys for joining. Okay, so let's get into it. Let's get into why it's important. And I also, now that the portal has been opened, now that there is a crack in the matrix, there's been a crack. I mean, we're pushing against the matrix. That's why people say red pill. Do you take the blue or the red pill? Lots of red pills going on, people breaking out of the matrix, and Kanye West is probably the biggest celebrity so far, at least. Definitely the biggest celebrity in the realm of waking people up, because the rap industry, the entertainment industry, and also, the urban market and also the suburban market. I mean, he just has a reach, and he's very, very well respected in so many different markets and so many different groups and ethnicities and races and religions of people. Him saying this is a very huge deal. I know a lot of people say, don't talk about politics, celebrities, blah, 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 just sing for me. That's not what we need on either side. We need intelligent discussion. We just need more people like Kanye West and less people like John Legend, no offense. But let me tell you what he tweeted today, some of the stuff, and then let's get into how the entertainment industry's reacting. Because I'm going to question Hot 97. That's what I listened to growing up in New Jersey. Hot 97 is the big hip-hop station. I loved Paul Rosenberg. Ebro was okay. I was never really a big fan of his. He's all right. But he's talking about Kanye now. He's talking about Candace Owens. He's talking about, Donald Trump. He's talking about my people. And they're so delusional. The music industry, the hip-hop industry, these people that I love, no disrespect, they're just so delusional when it comes to politics. It's just straight up embarrassing. It really is some form of mind control. It's some form of like sheep-like mentality where they've followed in a herd for so long that they actually believe themselves when they make absolutely no sense, and they're incapable of having an intelligent debate because they have absolutely no points. We're going to get into that, but let me tell you what Kanye tweeted today. First, he tweeted a picture of a MAGA hat sign, a Make America Great Again hat, signature on it. He said, look, I got my MAGA hat sign. This is a big deal. Even celebrities that support President Trump, I've been very vocal about my support for him. I tell people why I think he's underrated. I tell people, someone on the street today, they had a Trump-hating shirt, and I said, he's like, you like my shirt, right? And I was like, no, I don't. I think it's lame. I think he's underrated. I have no problem talking about it. But to wear a MAGA hat, that's a whole nother level. And the stigma of the Make America Great Again hat is so bad that you are actually risking physical danger just by wearing it in certain cities. Because the mob mentality is that huge. So he tweeted a signed picture of that. He tweeted a picture of him standing next to two dudes with a MAGA hat wearing it. I mean, that's a meme right there. After this video, I'm going to go make a bunch of memes with that, because that's what I do. Tough life. No, I'm just playing. But So he also tweeted this statement, which is a very, very profound, powerful statement. You know, I know people are going to get mad, happy, whatever. Just listen to the message of the statement. Take out your personal opinions and listen to the message. He said, "You don't have to agree with Trump, but the mob can't make me not love him. We are both dragon energy. He is my brother. I love everyone. I don't agree with everything anyone does. That's what makes us individuals. And we have the right to independent thought." So in a normal world that functions where people aren't mind controlled and people aren't delusionally mob mentality, you know, led and orchestrated by the most evil, corrupt people on the planet, that's a basic statement. He says, I love Trump. I love everyone. He has energy like I do. I don't agree with everything that he said, but that's what makes us individuals. We have independent thought. It's a totally basic statement. It's a totally harmless, honest statement, accurate. I mean, pretty G-rated, PG-rated. It's not even PG-13. But people can't handle that. They're saying we need to boycott his album. Kanye, even people making slave references, saying he's Kunta Kinte, he's Toby, you know, making all sorts of slave references. When the irony there is, I don't even want to get into this, but it is people that are basically mentally enslaving themselves that have Stockholm syndrome. They're so in love with their slave masters that they think everyone else is enslaved when they're really the ones enslaved, you know, because they're so like induced in this fake news media, and they love all these fake victimization mindsets that really destroys your life and your energy and your mentality, and it puts the master above you. You say, I'm weak, I need your help, I'm this, I'm that. It's a total Stockholm syndrome on the other side, but of course they have to, you know, say these negative things about Kanye. And this is another tweet from earlier this week that I thought was pretty powerful. He said, "Truth is my goal, controversy is my gym. I'll do 100 reps of controversy for a 6-pack of truth." So, you know, these are just some of the energy he's putting out there. And with this live stream, I've already talked a little bit about it. I really want to challenge the rap industry. I really want to challenge the music industry. I really want to challenge the entertainment industry, because what they're doing to Kanye West is right now, what they're doing to him right now is what they did to Donald Trump. It's what they do to, you know, Mike Cernovich or Jack Poseic or pretty much anybody that's right-leaning or centrist or halfway decent, intelligent, conservative. They have a giant smear campaign, and it's a total disgusting, gross mentality, and we're going to cover everything right now. And as always, I'm up to debate. You can have me on Hot 97. You can have me on these liberal news stations. They'll have me on NPR. You can debate with me, having a discussion if you really want to bring America together and get to the truth. But if you want to lie and just, you know, destroy thought out of existence, then continue this weird mob mentality that you have. So, you know, he says this stuff, and what they're doing to him now is trying to destroy his personal life, trying to destroy his relationship, and start all this drama and rumors. And they do it to President Trump every single day. So there's stories coming out saying Kanye West is fighting with Kris Jenner, who's Kim Kardashian's mom. They're not getting along, this and that. They got all these sort of negative smear stories on him. And you have the Kardashian mom saying, that's not true. You have Kim Kardashian saying, that's not true. Kanye West is mentally unstable. Don't you notice a pattern? And to anybody that is a true liberal, I'm talking about a classic liberal that believes in love, peace, equality, the hippie tree huggers, you know, from the 60s and 70s that everybody thought was communist, you know. Don't you see that there's something really profoundly weird going on the left side that's totally not liberal? It's the opposite of liberal. That if you say something basic like, hey, we're all individuals, I love everyone, I'm a real hippie, I believe in independent thought and freedom, the media comes and tries to, oh my God, let's destroy his character, let's destroy his wife, let's attack his mom, and let's attack his mom-in-law, let's destroy his character, let's destroy his music. Is that liberal? I mean, this is why the fake liberal, fascist, extremist, thought control police left is losing, and the new age Kanye West, Donald Trump conservative is winning, because it's not about left and right. It's a total trap. You go back, forth, back and forth, back and forth. It just so happens that the conservative right now and the centrist right and the classic liberal left, which is now shifting over right because they don't feel safe on the left, because you're not safe on the left. It's a total structure of destroying yourself. You're not allowed to live on the left if you're smart or honest. You have to be a victim, and you have to be self-hatred, and you have to take a lot of pills. And if you don't do all these things, it's like you can't live on the left. Nothing about this mentality is liberal. So this is what the liberal left media and the gossip rag media that is now the mainstream media, this is what they do. As soon as you stray from their opinion or you question them or you try to bring up a discussion, they try to destroy you completely. They try to destroy you financially. They send boycotts at you. We're going to boycott his albums, even though he doesn't care. He's wealthy enough. But for people like Sean Hannity or Laura Ingraham or all the rest, you know, we're people on YouTube, even honest left-leaning people, we're going to take your advertisers away. We're going to destroy you financially. Then they're going to write a smear article where they put you in with white nationalists, neo-Nazis, pedophiles, and left-wing conspiracy theorists who said something we don't want them to say. You're like, what? I mean, this is what they do. So I hope this brings the mentality to the industry, to the rap community, to the entertainment industry, to people that like Kanye West who never would think this way. This is why this is important. You know, people are like, who cares? It's just one person. He's just Kanye West. It's important because this is now bringing reality. This is cracking the matrix to like 100 million new people who never would have thought this way. They're starting to realize, and they could see how the mainstream media really works. And it's not liberal. It's not peace and love equality. It's not we love the LGBT community and black people more than you. It's we hate you if you're gay, if you don't think like us. We hate you if you're black, if you don't think like us. If you're white, we hate you regardless of how we think, because that's the new liberal mentality. They blame themselves for what like the founding fathers of America did. I mean, my family came over from Italy, Puerto Rico, and Poland. I didn't sail on the Nina, the Pinta, the Santa Maria, but if you watch, you know, MSNBC or read Huffington Post, you would think that my family personally, like, pillaged the United States and that I should have to, you know, destroy my whole life and give it over to people who never even, you know, suffered this type of oppression. I'm not saying this to want to say it. I'm saying this is the reality. It's like, it's your fault. You know, we don't like you if you're diamond and silk and you're two smart, intelligent black women who are successful and wealthy and, you know, living the American dream. We're going to destroy you. Nothing about this mentality is liberal. This is a psychotic behavior. And this psychotic behavior has become so normalized that if you say something like middle of the road like Kanye or like myself, you say, hey guys, I don't like everything about him, but I love him. I love everyone, and I see the good things about him. They're like, whoa, oh my goodness, a normal, rational person who realizes that politics is very multi-layered. He's a fascist, neo-Nazi, racist, white supremacist, pedophile, and we need to expunge him out of existence. I mean, this is what they're doing. This is not liberal. This is not normal. This is not friendly. You are not a better person than me or Kanye West or Donald Trump. You might be a worse person. You're a loony. And just because everyone does it doesn't make it good. If the same people who bring up history all the time, look at history. I mean, is that all right? It was legal. Everyone was doing it. Was slavery good? Was, you know, all this stuff good? Was Hitler good? Was Stalin good? Was Mao good? Were these things good just because everyone went along with it? No, they weren't. So that's why constantly, no matter if you're conservative, libertarian, liberal, or don't care, you have to check yourself, because just because you're following what everyone else is doing, it doesn't mean you're right. You could be the fascist that you're trying to stop. You could be the ignorant racist that you're trying to stop. You could be the extremist slave master mentality person that you think you're fighting. We have to fight these people who are being oppressive. But then you can't even exist as a black man or a black woman or a white woman or a white man or an Asian or an Italian or whatever you are. You're not allowed to exist if you don't think that way. And that way of thinking actually isn't really a smart way of thinking. It's a very short-sighted, very naive, very foolish way of thinking, even for somebody that does have a peace, love, positivity mentality like myself. Even like someone like Kanye who's trying to say, hey, I love everyone. It's like, no. You're not even allowed to be a hippie. We're the fake hippies who literally just fund extremists overseas, and we turn a blind eye while liberals, you know, destroy pretty much everything. But that's okay because, I don't know, because the television told me it's okay. It makes absolutely no sense. And on that note, I want to get into what happened on Hot 97, because this is a radio station, and I would love them to have me on. I'm sure they won't. They'll probably try to pretend like I'm not big enough for something, even though I have 200 million views. I'm not saying that to brag. I'm just saying, you know, I'm a powerhouse on social media. It's about time that they have discussions with people like me. It's about time that they have discussions with people like Candace Owens. It's about time they have discussions like with Kanye West, instead of talking about us, instead of making up all these fake things about us and then not even be able to face us, because that's what the media does. They're afraid to talk to someone like me. They're afraid to talk to someone like Candace Owens. They're afraid to talk to someone like Kanye West, because then they might realize their whole fake reality is totally stupid and they're not really that smart and they're just sheep who go along with what's popular. And they're like, well, Donald Trump hates Mexicans because that's what the TV told me 2 years ago. It's like, yeah, I know. You've said that on loop like a pull string doll. Why don't you like Donald Trump? He hates Mexicans. He hates Mexicans. You've been saying that for 2 years. First of all, it's not true. There's a difference between, you know, a race of people and border security. I mean, that's why you're not president. That's why President Trump's president. Because if you got into office and you didn't even think about the borders, you wouldn't be fit to keep your people secure. You're the president of the United States. Spoiler alert. Whoa, Donald Trump cares about his country more than other countries. What a terrible person. That's his job. I mean, if you're the president of Trump Hotel, it's not your job to figure out what's going on in Hilton Hotel. It's just not his position. But anyway, on Hot 97, I watched them talk about Kanye West, Ebro in the morning. And like I said, I think Ebro's a pretty cool guy, but I would love to have a discussion or a debate with them. Because I'm watching him, Paul Rosenberg, and I think her name is Laura Stiles. I don't know. And they're just so delusional. And I say this with much love. I don't say this to be mean or bully. I say this to open up a discussion, because you're going to start to realize that the herd is shifting, and all these dumb things that you're saying, eventually everyone's not going to be saying it, and you're going to be on the radio saying the same things you were saying 10 years ago, and then you're going to realize, wait a second, like, maybe, where did everyone go? Where did all the sheep go? The sheep went to another side, and you're left there just delusionally repeating the same things you were for 5 years. But they like can't even fathom. Just watching them is just so embarrassing. Growing up listening to these people, they can't fathom why Kanye would feel that way. And it's not even like they have to agree. I'm not saying you have to agree with me. I actually say the opposite. I always say, I don't care what you think. I don't care if you agree with me. I just hope you know how to think, so you don't end up like the hosts on Hot 97, and you don't end up like the people on television who are literally mind-controlled zombies who can't figure anything out. I just want you to be able to think. So they can't figure out why Kanye feels this way or why Candace Owens feels this way. And they're just like, so like little children, like in a maze, like, huh, like what the heck? See, that's the difference between me and them. And I'm not comparing. I don't think I'm better or anything. But when it comes to understanding people, I say all the time, I know why people don't like Donald Trump. I get it. It's not a big, why don't people like Donald Trump? I mean, he's a strong, energied person. He has dragon energy, like Kanye West said. He's very arrogant. He can be very headstrong and very, very stubborn. He's a very strong, loud person. He's blunt. He doesn't beat around the bush. He's very blunt. He's very direct. He doesn't always think about the consequences of his words. But I get why people don't like Trump. Okay, I think he's what America needs at this point. But I understand why people don't like him. I get why people wouldn't like the negative sides of him. I understand that Facebook, Google, Twitter lies to people every day, and the TV lies, and the entertainment industry lies. And I understand that people have been lied to so much. The truth is scary. So I get that. I get all the reasons that people don't like Trump. Some people, they're very justified. They dislike him, and they have great reasons to dislike him. There are people who have personal experiences in their life who don't like Trump because something he did affects their life. I get that. I get that most people don't like Trump because the media controls their mind, and they're literally just zombies at this point who follow the herd. I get all the angles of why people don't like Trump, the justified reasons and the mind-controlled zombie reasons. But you listen to the opposition, and they don't even know, they can't even fathom why somebody would like President Trump. Like, there's so many things that go into being a president. There's foreign policy, which he has been way better than Hillary Clinton and George Bush on. There is, the economy. There is security. There's safety. There's, government spending. There's hundreds upon thousands of little pieces of the puzzle that everybody's different. Hillary Clinton's different. Bernie Sanders is different. Trump's different. But you listen to people like Ebro, hey bro, with the E. You listen to these people, and they just can't fathom. Like I told you all the reasons people wouldn't like Trump, because I'm an honest, halfway decent person who actually wants to unite. They're like, why? He's so hateful, and we can't figure out, why would 70 million people like Donald Trump? Are they all racist, and do they hate people? Are they hateful? And I'm a total nice person who loves everyone, and everyone outside of my perspective must hate everybody? Why? I mean, do they hate? It's like, no, dum-dums, because there's a million things you have no idea about. You don't even know about what's going on in Syria. You didn't talk about what was going on in Libya. You certainly don't talk about Afghanistan and Yemen and Saudi Arabia and Israel and all these. These are things you don't talk about on Hot 97, and I'm not saying you have to. You're a hip-hop radio show. You talk about hip-hop. But when you dive into politics, I'm not telling you to not talk about politics. I'm not your master saying, don't talk about politics, entertain me. I'm saying, talk about politics, but don't be so stupid, don't be so fake, and don't be so delusional like you can't figure out why somebody might like President Trump. I made a video that has, almost 20 million views now. That explains all the reasons that people like Trump, and it's great. I mean, people share it all the time and say, I don't like Trump, but now I finally understand, because I'm actually trying to make an effort to get people to understand, and people like all these radio hosts, they're just sheep. And I'm not saying this to be mean. I'm saying this to challenge you, Ebro, Paul Rosenberg, or Peter Rosenberg, whatever your name is. I'm a big fan of your hip-hop analysis and whatnot, but you're smarter than this. You guys aren't dumb. You guys are very intelligent people, so why would you turn into sheep when it comes into politics? Are you afraid? Are you afraid of being like Kanye West or myself? Are you afraid that you won't have your position? Are you very misled and so indoctrinated in this fake news world where it's such an echo chamber that you really are, confused, and you really can't fathom why someone would like President Trump? But to watch all these entertainment hosts smear Kanye West, smear his family, and then make up this weird, how in the world does he hate? It's like, no, dude, unemployment's down. That's what black activists have talked about for a long time. And I don't want to get into, there's good counter arguments to both sides. But I've heard people like Nick Cannon and people that are, self-proclaimed black activists for years say, we need more jobs. That's why there's so many crimes. And now black unemployment's down. I'm not saying it's the be-all end-all, but there's a reason that someone might like him. Food stamps is at a lower rate than ever. And that's not like, oh, we're not feeding people. It's like, now they're not trapped in the system where if they make too much money, they're not allowed to get the benefits. And if they don't make enough, they're stuck on it. So it is a trapping mentality there where, if you make enough money, then you lose your house and you lose your food stamps. So, there's another reason. He's way less hawkish overseas. I mean, Hillary Clinton wanted to start a war with Russia. Donald Trump wanted to get along with Russia. Donald Trump cut $1 billion funding program that our intelligence communities had funding rebels in Syria, similar rebels that killed the leader of Libya, and these are self-proclaimed African activists that don't even know this. Killed the leader of Libya, and now there's just a huge power vacuum where extremists have, succeeded because of that. I mean, there's another reason, not starting wars, getting along with North Korea, doing a better job with Syria. I mean, way better job, even with that Syrian strike that didn't kill anybody. Donald Trump is 20 times less hawkish, and he is. I mean, people try to say he's not, but him cutting billions of dollars to rebels, that's half the reason that Syria was able to free itself in under a year, and now there's no terrorist organizations there. So all of these things, I mean, that's a big one. What about economy? If people are into the stock market and people are into finances, not everybody has this self-victimization mentality. I know, and I don't mean to just pick on Hot 97 because it's the whole media. I do that because I'm a fan and I'm challenging them because I know they're not that dumb. There are a lot of millions of black people and white people and Latinos who aren't like a victim. Believe it or not, we're not all illegal immigrants. I mean, there's millions of legal Mexicans and Guatemalans and Honduras. I mean, I have friends and they're embarrassed that everybody thinks the only people that matter are legal immigrants and like refugees in other countries. We have citizens here, Mexicans and Italians and Puerto Ricans and white and black people who wear suits and make lots of money and they care about the stock market. We're not all victims. We don't all need your help and your government handouts. And, oh my God, help us, Ebro, help us, Rosenberg. We need your help, Hillary Clinton, please. Please help us, master. Like, we're not all like that. So people might be into their finances. I mean, there's a lot of rappers preaching financial stability. So there's another reason Trump's doing a better job with economies. Trump cut the taxes. There's another reason. Maybe if you make $1 million or you make $50,000 and you saved $1,000 to $20,000 this year or last year, there's a reason. He's switching Obamacare, the mandatory mandate this year. If I want to not pay for health insurance, I have to pay thousands of dollars out of my pocket. So I am financially enslaved in this healthcare, system. If I don't pay, I have to pay. If I pay, I have to pay. It's a total dupe. Next year, thanks to President Trump, if I don't want to pay for health insurance, I don't have to. So there, I could save $5,000 next year, because even if I pay for health insurance this year, when I go to the doctor, I don't get any savings. I pay full price for everything, no matter what I do, so it's a total trap. There's a reason that people might like President Trump. It's like you listen to these haters, and they can't fathom, they can't name one of the 50 reasons that I just talked about, because they don't know. I don't think they're bad people. I just think they literally are so mind-controlled that they're like, oh, well, Stormy Daniels and Michael Cohen and Mexicans at the border. Why wouldn't people like Trump? It's because while you're mind-controlled, literally controlled. Hold on a second. I need a drink. I'm starting to get dizzy. While you're mind-controlled and you're focused in on what the fake news liberal media wants to tell you, and let me tell you, you think that's leading to black success and Latino success, but it's really just leading to more war. It's a total dupe to mind control and distract you so they can start more wars that you don't even know about because you don't pay attention. That's really what's at the core of it, but let's not get into that. But we know about all this stuff. We're paying attention. Kanye is paying attention. I'm paying attention. Candace Owens is paying attention. Millions of people of all races and religions are paying attention. So when you say these things I'm not mad that you disagree with Kanye. I want you to disagree. But they can't even fathom why someone likes President Trump. That's how low level, that's how unevolved and controlled they are. I just told you 15 reasons that people don't like President Trump. Some justified, some not. I just told you 15 reasons why people do like President Trump. Some justified, some not. There are some people who like him for, nefarious reasons as well. I'm not going to pretend like the whole Trump side is perfect. It's clearly not. But these people, and they have high-level position where they're getting millions of views on every video. They're on all the radio stations. They can't even tell you one of the reasons on either side that I just told you. They're such sheep, and I'm so sick and tired of it, and I see the culture is shifting now. Kanye is making people think, and I'll tell you, the best concert that I've ever been to personally was Kanye West and Jay-Z Watch the Throne tour. I saw it in Atlantic City. It was brilliant. It was quite the show. I'm a huge Jay-Z fan. I don't agree with his politics, but I don't care. I think he's a very intelligent guy. Him and Kanye are friends. And I watched them live. It was amazing. But, their fan base, it's not just a bunch of 15-year-old kids. And no offense to rappers who do have a 15-year-old kid fan base. I'm not hating. But the audience was very diverse. And Kanye West and Jay-Z, I don't like to make things about race. I'm talking to everyone. But they're good in the hood. They have every community is behind them. They're not like a rapper who just has a bunch of little girls at their concerts. And there's nothing wrong with rappers like that or singers like that. It's a great fan base to have, I guess, as far as making sales. But Kanye and Jay-Z, they are very well respected all over the place. They have a diverse fan base, and they can get to these pockets where you're not allowed to have free thought. And once again, I hate to make things about race, but they do this to us. They put us in these little groups, and I know for the black community, they tell you if you're a black man or a black woman, you're not allowed to think this way. And to me, there's nothing more, trapping, and there's nothing more disrespectful, and there's nothing more restricting that you could do to someone to say you have to think this way. If you're black, you have to be the victim. If you're black, you have to be mad. If you're black, you have to be tough, and you have to be gangster. And if you're if you wear a suit, they'll call you a nasty name and say, you're an Uncle Tom, you're this, you're that. That is a mental trap, and that's what me and Kanye and Candace Owens are trying to get you out of. Are we going to be a little mean sometimes? Possibly. Is everything we're going to say right? Totally not. Kanye is going to say something that's wrong. I'm going to say something that's wrong. But are we trying to break you out of that mental enslavement? Yes, because that's what they do. They tell you have to think that way, and it's a self-manifesting prophecy. Of course, systemically, things are skewed. There can be better laws. There can be better systems in place. But the strongest thing that you have is your mind and your will. And if you have a strong mind and a strong will, you can get through any obstacle. You can become a multimillionaire from nothing. You can get out of any situation if you have a strong mind and a strong will. And this is what me and Kanye are trying to tell you. And this is what the mainstream media doesn't want you to know. And that's why as soon as you have a strong mind, as soon as you have a strong will, as soon as you realize your self-manifesting properties to get out of these situations, that's when they come crashing down and attack on you, because they don't want you to know. If you're a white woman, they don't want you to think a certain way. I mean, look at the press. They say, if you're a white woman and you voted for Trump, you're listening to your husband. You're not a real woman. You're a racist. That's how low these people think of white women. It goes for everybody. They put us in these boxes and they tell us how to think. And these are the same people that act like they are the women's activists and they love and care about women more than you. Ooh, a bunch of my friends raped women, so now I'm the spokesperson for women because my industry's, the most guilty. So we're the experts now because we know it best. And they tell you, you can't think that way. If you're a white woman, they're mentally enslaving you. They're mentally enslaving white women as well. It's not a race thing. They do it to everyone. They tell you, oh, we love you, we care about you, but don't you dare be strong. Don't you dare protect yourself. Don't you dare be competent. Don't you dare be happy and successful and wealthy, because then we will bring the world down on you. We will bring the press down on you. We will call you every name in the book because we can't fathom why 70 million people didn't let us tell them how to act. We can't figure out why 70 million people didn't want World War III with Russia. We can't figure out why 70 million people didn't want to invade Syria and turn it into Libya and then have a huge refugee crisis that destabilizes, other countries. We can't figure out why you didn't listen to us, so we're going to destroy you, white women. We're going to destroy you, black community, Latino community. Spoiler alert, I mean, people have probably realized, a quarter of my following is Latino. They don't even think you exist. I mean, the narrative of the media is illegal immigrants are the cream of the crop, and we don't even know about the millions of, Mexicans and Puerto Ricans and Guatemalans and Honduras and all these people who have come to the United States illegally and worked here for 20, 30 years. You don't even exist to them. I mean, they don't even know, it's like refugees, illegal immigrants, and then the rest of the United States citizens, we take a next level down, especially if you're a strong and, intelligent Latino. They don't want you to love America. They don't want you to be honest about it. I mean, when I go on the street and I talk to people, or I just live my life and, just run into people, I can't find a single Latino person that acts like how they act on the media. Because they don't really exist unless they're mind controlled by the media to think that way. Because most people who came from other countries, whether it be Mexico or Central or South America, they know the reality of Mexico, Central or South America. So most of the time, people that I speak to, they're pretty grateful to be here. They say, yeah, it's not perfect. There's definitely douchey people here. There's some, racist people and there's terrible stuff here. But it's better than where I was, and there's more opportunity, and the economy is way better than Brazil or than Mexico or other places. So they don't act like the media does. The media thinks they are the mental slave master, and I don't mean to hype it up. I really feel this way. I've been saying it for years. They try to mentally enslave people. It's just like Marcus Garvey said in the early 1900s. And Marcus Garvey was a huge black activist that they don't teach you about in school, probably because he said stuff like this. He said, it's not just about enslavement of the body. He said, now it's about enslavement of the mind. And we need to free our minds to free our bodies. It was a quote like that. Very, very brilliant stuff. And he said that because it's true. And Kanye said it, a week ago, basically paraphrasing Marcus Garvey, because it's true. They're not enslaving our bodies anymore physically, so they are enslaving us mentally, and then we will enslave ourselves. It's a Stockholm Syndrome. If they can get your mind is the supercomputer that basically makes decisions for your body. If they can enslave your mind, then they can control your body via your mind. And that's what we're going through right now. And that's why I say, I don't care. You don't have to like President Trump. I could care less. I get why people don't like him. Certain days, it's like, okay, yeah, I see it. I see why you'd be upset. But to pretend or to truly believe that you don't know why people like him and that you can't fathom why 70 million people like him for all of the reasons that I just told you. And we are sick and tired of people trying to mentally enslave us and tell us because we're a certain race or religion or gender or, whatever we are, ethnicity, that we're not allowed to feel the way that we feel. There's nothing more disgusting, disturbing, and enslaving than telling us that we're not allowed to be individuals. If you're black, white, or Latino, you don't have to be what they say, black, white, or Latino. You could like soccer or football or basketball or archery. You could play video games. You could like anime. You could, like hip-hop music. You could like Thai food and, pho. And, you don't have to be who they say you are. And that's what they think so lowly of us. They think so lowly of us that they feel like we have to act that way. And if we don't, we're subject to all of these terrible things. If you're in the NRA, every person that commits a crime is your fault because we say so. If you're a white person and you don't agree with the liberals, then you're a racist, sexist, xenophobic, privileged, blah, 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 blah. If you're black or Latino or Asian, they don't even talk about Asian people. Do they even care about Asian people? Asian people come from these crazy regimes overseas, work really hard, become very successful. That's why they don't get talked about in the media, because, I don't know, when's the last time you've heard the media talk about Asians besides Vice was like, Asians are responsible for white supremacy. It's like, what? You can't even talk about like Asian success and happiness in the United States without blaming them for white supremacy? These are not jokes. This is how low that the media thinks of us. They don't talk about India. They don't talk about Hindus and, the culture war that's going on overseas between certain communities. They don't even, that's not even in their reality. I talk to people and they're like, man, I love what you're doing. Let me tell you about the Hindus and what we've gone through overseas and the religious battles that we've dealt through. They don't even talk, it's not even in their train of thought. They just try to mentally enslave us all. And the second that we break out, they freak out. So, just to sum it up, Kanye wore a MAGA hat. He threw up the symbol, and he's really pro-Trump. And this is important for many, many reasons because, besides just the fact that he's very successful and reaches a wider audience than President Trump will reach and a different, more diverse audience than President Trump will reach, we need to have this discussion that I'm having now. It's been long overdue. The media put out this fake narrative to try to beat Trump. That was literally their whole strategy was, let's lie to everybody. Let's spend $1.2 billion to lie to people and make people hate each other. They lost, and they continued this campaign, and they're continuing this playing dumb campaign like they don't know why people feel this way. And hundreds of millions of people feel this way. It's worldwide now. It's not just in America because common sense is worldwide. Basic decency is worldwide. Honesty, integrity, and blunt truth is worldwide. So it's not just Trump. It's not just me. It's not just Kanye. It's hundreds of millions of people. We're not going anywhere. We're not going away no matter how much you lie about us, no matter how many award shows that you have to pat yourself on the back and be like, congratulations, you're not racist. And they're like, oh my God, I'm so happy that you gave me this award. Like giving awards to yourselves, giving Pulitzer Prizes to yourself. That's great. Congratulations. Washington Post said that Washington Post does the best journalism. Anomaly says that he's the best news analyst in the world. The 5th Annual Anomaly Awards. Oh, yay. I say I'm the best. They're giving themselves awards. That's all great. But we're not going away. And no matter how much you act like you can't fathom why somebody likes him, it doesn't make anything that you're saying true. And it's not true because I can name 20 reasons why people like him. I could name 20 reasons why I don't. If I went on Hot 97 or I went on Charlemagne, it would have millions of views and the whole audience would be like, oh my God, this guy's even more real than the host. And people would love it. That's why they don't have me on, because I could reach that community. I already do. I have in the past. Not to boast myself, but I've always been independent. I've never had a label. I've rarely had a manager for like a month or two that really, and I've gotten millions of views and millions of downloads on my songs. And now I do the news analysis, and I've reached pockets that they can reach as well. So, I want to have this discussion because I want people to realize that what they're saying is wrong. Hot 97 is not telling you the truth. I'm sorry, Ebro and Rosenberg. You're just not politically. You guys are very low level. Here's me. Here's Candace Owens. Here's Kanye West. Here's you. No offense. If you think differently, let's discuss. when you watch Stephen Colbert and John Oliver and Jimmy Kimmel, yes, they're funny. Yes, they're very likable. Yes, they're very entertaining. But is it high-level political analysis? No, it's bottom-of-the-barrel, fake news political analysis to keep you enslaved and indoctrinated. And I say that with no joy. I think John Oliver is very funny and very entertaining. I think Jimmy Kimmel is kind of a dick now. But, I think Colbert is very entertaining. But they're lying to everybody. That's why nobody knows, because they can't get the truth through anybody. And Kanye says something very, very basic. He just says, hey, I don't like everything about Trump. I like some things. And, I'm allowed to have independent thought. They're like, boycott, boycott, boycott. Oh my God, Kanye said that not everything someone says is true, and that you're allowed to like certain things about someone and not certain things. That's how everyone should feel, dum-dums. Because when it comes to the president, it's not like, Donald Trump is a racist and everybody else is not racist. I mean, that's the message that you're pushing, Hot 97. That's the message. I mean, you had Hillary Clinton on. You guys are lame. That's the message that the media is pushing. They're saying, Donald Trump, that's their news analysis. My analysis, I explore all options, all angles. I tell the truth. I tell you what I think. I tell you what other people think. There's this, Donald Trump is a big racist, and we need to resist and have marches to take our own freedoms away. And one day, the not racist person like George Bush or Hillary Clinton will win. And then America will be great because Donald Trump's racist, everyone's not racist. That's the analysis that they do. You wonder why everyone's confused? Because you have hundreds of people saying that. You have Twitter Jack. He's like a proud little soy boy. And I'm not knocking soy. Eat as much as you want. But he's on there being like, oh, the Civil War is going to happen and the Democrats are going to win. I mean, he's tweeting this on his own damn page. You have Facebook lying to people out every day. You have the television lying to people every day. You have these dumb award shows where they pat each other on the backs, give each other awards for pretending to be someone else. You're the best actor. Congratulations. You pretended to be somebody else on television. You're the best liar. And they're like, oh, yay. And we must really know a lot about politics. That's why everyone's so mind-controlled and dumbed down, because you lie to people all the time. So I'm trying to break the echo chamber, break the mold. You don't have to agree with me, but you have to stop this dumb game of, if we get Trump out of office, everything's going to be perfect. And there's no possible way that anybody could like him. I can't fathom it. There's millions of reasons to like him. I mean, and the more that you guys make up all this dumb stuff, I mean, we're making clones and, technology that flies all over the world, and you guys are talking on like a third grade level, acting like we're back in the Stone Ages. I mean, of course people are going to tune into me. Of course I'm going to get more views than MSNBC. Of course, I'm going to keep being more successful, and you're going to keep going down and misleading people because you're such a low-level analyst. I mean, it's embarrassing the levels you took it. Why would people want to listen to a podcast that brings them back to the Dark Ages when we're in the Renaissance? I mean, you could literally do anything right now. It's the greatest time to be alive, and you guys are acting like we're in 1666 because you're too dumb to figure out what's really going on. You don't know foreign policy. You don't know economy. You don't know that George Bush and Barack Obama was a puppet. You don't understand that President Trump can't be controlled, and it frustrates the deep elements of our government, and it frustrates the media that's been sold out, and it frustrates the pharmacy industry that's been sold out, and it frustrates Amazon, Washington Post, which has been sold out, and it frustrates all these mainstream media mentally enslaving units of our system. You can't figure. That's why we like President Trump, because he's not a puppet, but you don't know that. So your analysis is just, ooh, he's racist and there's nothing else going on. I mean, no matter, even if Hillary Clinton's president, dummies, that's not it. It's not like she's a grandma and she's going to really take care of business. That's just not how the world works, you fools. And you're so proud and you're so emboldened in your foolishness. Like, haha, we got him. It's like, no, it doesn't matter who's president. There's multiple layers to it. There's the economy, foreign policy, there's media, there's, political correctness and mind control, and there is, education, healthcare. I mean, domestic and foreign policies. There's hundreds of thousands of things that go into being a president. No matter who's president, you don't just put it in a box and be like, duh, that's what's happening, and this I don't even know about, and how dare... I mean, that's why they don't have me on television. I would completely just destroy all of their arguments in a nice, respectful manner, and they'd be like, wait, can we call him racist? Can we call him sexist? Can we destroy his life? Can we destroy who he is? I mean, I'm sure they could try to figure it out. They'll do it with anyone, but this needs to end. So on top of Kanye West, yes, this is culture shifting. Yes, it's great that he's breaking the mold. This is why I'm so excited, because this is just going to get more powerful. And now there's millions of people who have been red-pilled. You see that when Kanye does something, and here's the last point I want to make before I leave. I can't even breathe. This air is like different from the jungle. I don't know. I got to open a window or something. But, you know, when Kanye says something, the herd shifts. And I'm not saying everybody's sheep, but a lot of people, they don't even believe, you know, this anti-Trump stuff. They do it because everybody's doing it. So it's publicly acceptable. You have to understand, a lot of people are afraid. Rightfully so. The world is a scary place. If you deviate from the norm, they try to destroy your life and your character. And a lot of people have money to make, they have families to live, and they have social groups that they need to stay in and not be the racist guy. So when Trump says something, it's harder for people to break the mold. You know, there's lots of people who message me saying, I feel that way, but I'll get fired from my job if I say it. I understand. I'm not, you know, saying I'm special, but I get, you know, same with me. I've lost a lot of things for saying this. So when Trump says it, it's like, oh, it's racist already. But when Kanye West says it, now you have millions of sheep who are going to move over and get red-pilled and break out the matrix, and now they're going to say what Kanye West is saying. You know, when Kanye West drops a song, millions of people tweet his lyrics, and they start talking about it, and it influences their life, and it influences their friend group. That's how powerful music is. That's how powerful entertainment is. It's not just you watch a movie, and that's it. It's like, it's a mind-controlling entity. That's why I don't even watch movies, because I know what they're really doing. You know, they shift culture every time they drop a song or drop a movie. The entire culture shifts, public perception shifts, and reality shifts. You're literally changing reality with videos and music and entertainment. So when Kanye does this, he is shifting the culture, he's shifting the energy, and millions of people who just kind of follow the herd or are afraid to leave the herd are now shifting. And I see it in statuses, I see it in posts, and I see a lot of people who have been on the low and now feel more emboldened to do it, because now that Kanye West did it, you know, he's very respected. He's clearly not racist. I mean, he said George Bush doesn't care about black people. And a lot of people don't get it. They say, Kanye West, how could he go from saying George Bush doesn't care about black people on air to liking Trump? Because Trump's not a puppet. George W. Bush was a puppet. Kanye knew that, okay? Barack Obama was a puppet. We found that out the hard way. Okay, Donald Trump is not a puppet, so there's a difference between a George W. Bush and a Donald Trump. And most Trump supporters know that. I mean, the only ones who don't know that are the people who do analysis on Trump and Kanye. So talk to Kanye, talk to Trump, talk to people who like Trump. Don't listen to these delusional, self-hating rats. I don't want to say rats, but you know, that's rude. But these people who just write about, ooh, this is what Kanye thinks and what Kanye says and what Trump thinks and what Trump says, and we're going to tell you what Trump's saying. No. That's your mentally unstable, unhealthy perception and perspective of what Trump's saying. That's not what he said. That's not what I said. That's not what Kanye said. That's not what Trump supporters said. That's what you think they said. So now you're spreading this totally delusional message about what you think they meant, instead of letting people actually listen to what they're actually saying. I mean, that was what, you know, woke me up to more of what Trump was doing. Was I stopped listening to what people said about him, and then I just listened to what he actually said, and I was like, wow, this guy is not who they say he is. And if you listen to what Trump is saying in full context, he's actually the man. He's funny, he's honest, he's smart, and he's totally not a puppet. I mean, I was listening to progressive media who are just so indoctrinated. They're like, single-payer healthcare will change the whole world for the better. I mean, no, it's just a government-installed system. It might save a few lives, but we need a mental revolution if we're going to change anything. It's not going to come from legislation. Anyway, I was listening to fake leftist media saying, Trump's just a billionaire and he's a total phony. But then I listened to him and I'm like, oh my God, this guy's the real deal. And still, every day, I mean, I don't even check what people are saying. I go right to the source, man. He's got the best Twitter on the planet. He's 70-something years old. Better at Twitter than kids my age. So just to sum it up, and if you would like to support, I'm going to post my donor box link and my free email list. I'm going to send an email out. I've been busy, and I had like a flight delay. My flight, I was actually halfway to LA, and then my flight turned around with an engine problem. I thought I was going to die, but I was at peace. I was like, you know, it's okay. We're out here. You know, the sea will swallow me alive, and then spread my energy throughout the world, and it'll be okay. But anyway, you know, it's been a hectic week or so. I'm back. I'm going to send out an email, my donation link, donor box. I'm totally people funded. I'm working on doing a 5-city tour where I could speak. I'm working on, people want me to speak at schools now and universities. I'm getting it all together and trying to really, you know, take this to the moon, if it's even real. And you know, that's where I'm at. So I appreciate the support. This is totally people funded. And as you see with people that are left leaning or right leaning, if you tell the truth, if you do analysis like I do, they don't allow you to make money. I'm not saying this to like hype myself up or try to get extra money, but it's really just the truth. Like on YouTube, they're demonetizing anything that I say. If it has Syria in it or it says a foreign country, instantly demonetized. They smear people like myself who are honest and try to tell the truth. They try to attack our advertisers. They try to make us socially unacceptable. They try to destroy our character and our personality, and they try to convince people that we're not. They are truly disgusting leeches and roaches. They're like little parasites that just suck on you, and they don't even realize that they're so not self-aware. So I'm saying this because I really do appreciate the support. The reason I'm able to do this is because of people like you who share, like, click the like button, click see first too. A lot of people say, Namli, I don't see your stuff. Under the like and the follow button, click see first. If you click on it, a drop thing comes to see first, because they always change their algorithm to try to make it so people can't see pages. And especially if you tell the truth, that, you know, you get the axe, because 90% of the people who work at Facebook are low energy crab like people who, you know, don't want this free thought to exist. But I appreciate your support. People are changing the world. I mean, you know, if they could raise $500,000 for McCabe and his fund, you know, we could do similar to those numbers and at least make it so I could continue to develop. Thank you so much for that. Thank you for tuning in here. And overall, the culture is shifting. I don't care if you agree with me. I don't care who you like. But we need to have a discussion. We can't just make up fake stories and demonize half the country. That's never going to help. We need to have, you know, people like myself and Kanye and more people in the music industry start coming forward and making it socially acceptable to not be a complete mind-controlled sheep. And it's happening. It's been happening. The wave is coming. It's not going to stop. And on that note, you know, the midterms are coming up. If you're passionate about a certain ideology, I would say go vote, because there are a lot of mind-controlled zombie sheeps who think that the world's going to be better if they vote in Democrats. So if you're trying to really make a change on that level, I would say pay attention, because I do think a blue wave, you know, may very well come. And I don't know any of the policies. I don't know if people know why they feel that way. And I'm not saying to vote Democrat or Republican. Vote for who you want to. Vote for who you think is the best candidate, who has integrity and is actually going to benefit the world. But there's millions of people who are voting and they have no idea why they are. And it is going to be a huge surge of people, even though, you know, ideologically they don't even know why. They're just opposing and resisting. So, you know, be aware of that. Don't fall victim to thinking that just because President Trump's in office that it's going to get all better or worse or whatever. That's happening, you know, in a few months. So get out there and vote if that's how you feel, or don't vote. But thank you so much for your support. I'm going to post my links below. And thank you to Kanye West and everybody now who's starting to come out and at least have a discussion. And we will do independent journalism. I do my best to help people like Kanye West and Jimmy Dore, who's left-leaning, and I question Jimmy a lot, and I say I don't agree with certain policies and, you know, but overall, I support independent journalists, independent thought, and I will always be there on the front lines, even if I don't 100% agree with someone, to fight for their right to make money and to be successful and to not get censored. Because I know if Alex Jones goes down, or Kanye West goes down, or Jimmy Dore goes down, or Caitlin Johnstone, or anybody on the left that's more honest than the rest of the left, it is a pyramid of just dominoes that will fall down on everyone else. So, you know, I'm always protecting the thought police or against the thought police. And, you know, I will always be there broadcasting, helping whoever is being targeted, because that's how we're going to get through this. You know, when we stick together and we stand strong and we show people that we are actually more powerful than they are and we hold more influence than they do. And it's already at that point. So let's keep strong. Let's let people think. Let's have discussions. And thank you, based Kanye, for red pilling like 50 million people that never would have listened to me or President Trump. We appreciate it because it's not about certain policies even. It's not about, you know, certain things, but it is about being able to have a discussion and an honest, accurate debate, because the media is trying to throw us back 50 years and just corner everybody off, and that's not okay. Thank you again. I need some water. I'm about to pass out. Have a good week.